20, breaks free of the 25 to the 30, to the outside, 40, midfield, 40, 30 to the coast, 20, 15, Hester 5. Oh! Touchdown, Bears! For the third time in 6 seasons, it's one goal achieved. The Chicago Blackhawks win the Stanley Cup.
A little bouncer slowly toward Bryant. He will glove it in front of Rizzo. It's in time. And the Chicago Cubs win the World Series.
What up? What up? What up? Welcome to Shawn and Maya in the morning on this TGI Mickey Ficky Friday. It's the weekend, baby. And I'm your boy, the SuperBack Shawn Sierra. Thanks for tuning in. Listen, if you're watching us on Facebook Live, well, then I guess you found us on Facebook. And if you're not following us on Facebook, what? Let's go to Facebook, type in Sports Zone Chicago, click the like button, and now you're following Sports Zone Chicago. Simple. But wait, there's more. Go to the shows page. Go to Shawn and Maya morning like that. Will you be liking Sports Zone Chicago, but you'll be liking Shawn and Maya in the morning as well. If you're watching us on our YouTube channel, excellent. And if you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel, for real. All right, listen, go to YouTube, type in Sports Zone Chicago, click the subscribe button. Okay, also click the notification button. That's the little bell right next to it, and that will let you know anytime a show from Sports Zone Chicago is going live. Get it? Got it? Good. Man, if you're watching us on our mobile app, wait, come on, man. Don't tell me you didn't know we had a mobile app. What is wrong with you, man? What your problem is? What your problem is, man? Come on. We have a mobile app. So I don't care where you get them from. Go. Wherever you get your apps from, go there. Whether it's iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, Walmart, Kmart, 7-Eleven, Zayre, Zemsky, Macy, Montgomery Ward, Venture, Woolworths, wherever you get them from. You go there, you type in Sports Zone Chicago, you download it. You take us with you on the go. So not only do you get Shawn and Maya in the morning 3 days a week, not only do you get our other live shows throughout the week, not only are they archived there like they are on Facebook and YouTube, but I'll tell you what, we give you a slew. And I mean a slew of articles. Thanks to my man Clarence Council III. Big up to Clarence for keeping you abreast of all articles Chicago sports related. And if you're watching this on Roku channel, yeah, I like that kind of party, baby. Yeah. If you didn't know, you better ask somebody. Sports Zone Chicago, we have our own Roku channel. So if you have a Roku television in the house, do us a favor. Do us a solid, would you? Go to your Roku device and download Sports Zone Chicago's tile. Put it right smack dab in the middle of all of them. All right, Netflix, Hulu, Prime, Max, Apple Plus, Disney Plus, Stars. Oh, snap, today's Friday. Kanan. Power Book 3, Kanan. Season 3, Episode 2 is today. Oh, I know what I have to watch after the show. Yeah. Well, I digress. Sorry, I got excited a little bit. Put it right there. Download it. Now you can watch Sports Zone Chicago on the big screen. Hell, we're on the big screen live right now, right in Mickey Ficky now. That's what I'm talking about. Now, excuse me, you can also tweet the show. You can tweet us at Sports Zone Shy, that's CHI, at Sports Zone Shy. Now, if you want to follow me, just me, personally online, you want to know what I did? Let me tell you what I did. You want to know what I did? Here's what I did. I made it nice and easy for you folks. Nice and easy. One handle for Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok. I know I'm a 52-year-old TikToker, but leave me alone, damn it. All one handle at the Shawn Sierra. If you want to follow my lovely co-host Maya Akai, you can follow her on Facebook and Twitter at the Sports Chica. And if you want to follow her on Instagram because you're an IG and you do it just for the gram, well, just follow her at Maya_Akai. It's MAYA_AKAI. Man, we have a phenomenal show, but I need you to get interactive with us today. So whatever platform you're watching us on, whether it's Facebook, whether it's YouTube, whether it's our mobile app, leave a question or comment on that platform. It'll come up here. I'll put it on the screen. We'll incorporate it into the show. And that, my peoples, all the peoples, and that, my peoples, is why this is the best talk show around, is you. So bring them all, baby. Questions, comments, smart-ass remarks. Ain't nobody scared over here. You know what The Rock said, baby. Don't sing it. Just bring it. Man, let's check out the chat line, the chat room already. Man, we got people jumping in. Woo, baby. Cornelius Squalls in the Mickey Ficky house. What up? Here's my man, Armando Emeterio Lara Jr. What's up, Papa? Thanks for tuning in. Lavette Lee, she's in the Mickey Ficky house. Good morning, Mom. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. Man, Marshawn Walls in the Mickey Ficky house. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Listen, I don't know a lot about a lot, but I do know this. More of the usual suspects will chime in as the show goes on. Trust me. That, my friends, I can tell you. Man, I want to bring him out. Let's get it started. Oh, man, we got to cue up MC Hammer. Let's get it started. Oh, man. Most of you might not even know that, man. Come on now. Little MC Hammer. Man, my man's going to join us for the first segment. I'm fired up. He's coming over from the Nomad Network. My man, you can find him on Twitter at Big Sammo. Was it 80? That year you were born, dog? No, I'm kidding. Man, let's bring him on. Sammo, what's up, Papa? How are you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That is the year I was born, brother. What's up, big dog?
Man,
Happy Friday to you.
Happy
Mickey Ficky F.
You know it, baby. That's what I'm talking about, man. My shout out to Bernie Mac. You know, I'm old school, man. I'm a little older than you, so I gotta respect our greats in our community. So,
For sure.
Man, Sammo getting tons of love in the chat. Cornelius, Sammo, Junior, Sammo, Vet, Sammo.
Hey, what's up, Vet?
Sean Walls, Big Sammo.
Marshawn, what's up, big dog? Happy Friday to everybody. Man. Getting ready for the weekend. We're gonna kick it off right.
Dude, I am fired.
Weekend's
gonna be nice and warm. I'm supposed to be 50-something, 56 today. Something like that. Supposed to be almost 60, if not 60 tomorrow. Man, so much for that inclement weather, bear weather.
Right. What happened to the December advantage that we were supposed to have, right? It's all good, though.
Hey, tell me about it, man. Tell me about it. Whew, well, listen, we have a phenomenal show for you, folks. I'm telling you, when I say a phenomenal show, I am not bull-jiving at 9:40. Dennis 50th up in Detroit. We had him out a couple weeks ago. All right, formerly of 1050 AM and 97.1 FM. He's going to join us, talk to us, and give us a Detroit perspective on this game. All right, Detroit perspective, and he got one. He got one from last time. We got you, but don't worry. I think we'll be able to get this one in. But Dennis 50th from up in Detroit is going to give us a call. He's going to join us at 9:40. Talking little Detroit Lions football from their perspective. Then at 10 o'clock, my man's in them, Kenneth Davis. He is the host of the Under Center podcast on NBC Sports Chicago. He's going to join us, and we're going to talk Bears. I am fired up. We have a lot to talk about. We got Bulls, we got Blackhawks, we got baseball. Man, so man, you know how we do. Like our old Uncle Hawk Harrelson used to say, just sit back, relax, and strap it down. That's what we're going to do, man. We're about to kick it off. And guys, you know how we do. Junior says it's supposed to be 36. Okay. Hopefully that'll work on Sunday. Actually, let me see what our girl, the weather girl here in Chicago says. Because, I like to check the weather. Where you at? Also, today they don't have it at the top of the page, right? You're going to make me go look for this son of a gun? You guys are out of control. I tell you. All right, I'll get it before the show's out. I'll let it's like.
You got to get the weekend forecast. Yeah, we definitely.
Yeah, but it's usually they usually have it at the top of the page and say, hey, it's the 7-day forecast. Cheryl Scott's 7-day forecast, and they messing with me, dog. They messing with me. Why you got it, man? See, so I'm gonna mess with you guys like this no more. No, I do have to have my newspaper. I cannot, Sammo. I cannot just pull up online and read stuff that way. I'm old school, man.
Old school, for real.
Right. Sunday, you're right, Junior. Sunday says looks like 36, so 59 today, 50 tomorrow, morning showers, and 36 on Sunday. It's going to be chilly, woohoo! Especially when I get down to the Soldier Field. I get down to about between 9 and 10. And by the lake, it'll be nippy, nippy. Oh man! My man, Monica, mija, how are you? Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. If she's tuning in, that means Jeremiah is tuning in. So Jeremiah, what's up, mijo? Thanks for tuning in. Man, that is so awesome. All right, but like I said, you know how we do. First segment of every show is called Top of the Morning.
It won't come just when you want it.
Top of the morning to you. Top of the morning to you. Top of the morning to
Junior's a damn fool. He's like, I'm not the weather girl, I'm the weather dominator. That was his nickname, and we started calling him the Dominator because Junior has a very high pitched nasally voice. He talks like this, nah. And so he's like, we would just be bullshitting. He's like, yeah, I dominated my man. I don't know, it wasn't me. I didn't provide the pressure, Paul. I just dominated my man. So we just said, oh, all right there, Dominator.
Oh man.
So that's how he got the nickname Dominator.
The Dominator.
The Dominator.
Dominator. All right, the Dominator. That's what it's so all good.
Ran with it, dude. That's so we just ran with it. The Dominator, dude. That's hilarious. Well, let's get it started. Where are we gonna go? Let's go. Which way do we go? Which way do we go? You know what? We'll start with what happened last night. The Blackhawks, baby. That's what I'm talking about. The Blackhawks beat the Anaheim Ducks and Emilio Estevez, or Emilio Estevez. Sorry, most people don't know about the Mighty Ducks. Anyway, they beat the Anaheim Ducks 1-0. Beautiful. All right, Mrazek was between the pipes. He stopped all 37 shots he faced. Kurashev tallied the only goal of the evening, scoring his 5th. Connor Bedard and Tyler Johnson each assisted Bedard with his 10th helper of the year. Johnson with his 4th. Over on the west side, got the folks fired up. And you know what? We talk about this Blackhawks team. We just got to keep, stay with them, stay patient. They're young, they're growing, they're maturing before our eyes. They're getting better. And you know what? You win games like that go a long way, Sammo. Close games like that and your goalie standing on his head, man, those mean a lot, especially as the year progresses.
Absolutely. 37 stops and a shutout. That's a great game for a goalie. That's something to hang your hat on, man, and defense as well, man. First time we got to see the number 1 and number 2 guys from the draft.
Yes, sir, Bob.
Bedard and Carlson. Or is it Leo Carlson, man?
Mm-hmm.
I think both of those guys are going to be great. I think hockey fans got their money's worth. We're going to get their money's worth for years to come out of those 2 guys, man. Hawks finally score on the power play,
Yes.
So the fourth power play of the game, we finally get that score, and I like to see my guy involved. And Connor Bedard, man, like I said, the dude, he flashes every game. He's in on something, and he's either assisting or he's scoring goals. We see that guy out there the entire game, man, out there balling, or what we call him. What do you call it in ice? You can't call it balling.
Yeah, you can't ball it. He's pucking.
What do you call it? Pucking, skating. What do you call it? We got to call it sticking. I don't know what we going to call it, but whatever it is, he's out there doing it.
Damn it. I'm calling something, damn it.
We got to figure that out. He's getting it, though, man.
And if you saw the goal, it was beautiful. It was, he had a shot. He was sliding to his left, and he saw someone coming in the slot. He just gave it right up to him and blasted it right past the goalie for the 1-0 score, and that turned out to be the game winner. So, this kid is unselfish. He understands he's going to be the star. All right, but being a star doesn't mean you always have to score. Okay, it doesn't mean that. I mean, how many of our superstars have known that? Michael Jordan figured that out. He passed it to John Paxson, to Steve Kerr. A lot of different people in his career. Yeah, he took a lot of the game-winning shots, but he also trusted his teammates and realized he couldn't do it all. And I think Connor Bedard understands that as well. If someone else has got a better shot, man, let me give it up to him. I still get a point. And you know what? I'm excited to see what this kid is going to do at the end of the season. I want to compare him to him when he first started the season. All right, the first game that was on ESPN. Remember, he was a national. That was a national game. It wasn't even on NBC Sports. That was on ESPN because it was him against his childhood idol, and Sidney Crosby. And then I want to see him how he progresses at the end of the year, because I think he's taken some great strides. And we as Blackhawk fans, we want that. We want that. We're excited. We have another guy. I mean, this, not since 2007 with Patrick Kane, 2008. Yep. Man, we got a guy. We finally got a guy, and man, it's fun. It's good to see a young guy, and hopefully he grows and we watch him grow up before our eyes, lead us to another, series of Stanley Cups, 2 or 3. And if he does that, man, I'll tell you, my hockey experience in Chicago will be complete.
Absolutely, man. This guy shows a lot of maturity, man. He is everything is advertised, man, and that's a lot coming from a young guy too. That's a lot of pressure on the young guy, right? to come in with all of that hype and then come in and just, come out and ball out. It shows a lot of maturity from him. I think that, like you said, passing up on that goal and getting the easier goal, making that pass to what was it? Kurashev.
Kurashev, yeah. Philip Kurashev.
Passing it over to Kurashev and allowing him to get the goal, man. That buys you some points in the locker room as well, man. Teammates start taking notice, like they start taking notice of stuff like that. All right, this kid's not selfish. He's mature. He's out here. He's trying to win. That's bingo. That just shows you that winning is more important than himself. Like the game is not about him. So that's what I liked about that.
Yeah, and you nailed it right on the head, man. When you start getting other people involved, not only does it cause the defense to worry, but it builds a lot of confidence and trust in your teammates. Your teammates like, damn, he's going to hit me if I got an open shot. He's going to pass it to me if I have a better look than he does. And that's how you build chemistry. It took us a while with Patrick Kane and Taze and Duncan Keith and all those guys. And man, there was a point at one point back in like 12, 13, 14. Man, I mean, those passes were, it was like magnet from stick to stick to stick to stick to stick. It's like, I mean, they was moving so fast. You're like, damn. It's because the trust that they had, that the repetition, being on the ice, the games, the win, the close wins, the close losses, and the trust that they had in each other. I mean, the passing was literally next level. And, hopefully this team will get to that point in a couple of seasons. And man, and like I said, bring home a couple of Stanley Cups in his tenure. Because like I said, that'll be, to me, my hockey experience. If we win more cups, because we've already seen 3. We've already seen 3 cups here. If we win more cups than that, man, that's all I can say. That'd be dope. But let's keep it moving, baby. Let's keep it moving. Well, that was last night. And tonight, the Bulls, baby. The Bulls. The streaking Bulls, baby. That's what I'm talking about. We on fire. They travel to San Antonio and the Alamo for a date with the Spurs. And what's that dude's name? He's supposed to be pretty good. Like Wemby.
Gumby.
You said Gumby something? Gumby?
He looks like a Gumby. Boy, he plays like a grown man, though.
Wemby is the stud of the San Antonio Spurs. Tip off 30 p.m. Central. You can watch that game on NBC Sports Chicago, or you can catch it on the radio on their flagship station at 6:70 a.m. Now, 3 games in a row. Zach has been out, and that's the thing. Zach has been out, and all of a sudden they announced yesterday Zach will miss another 3 to 4 weeks with foot soreness. This is per Casey Johnson. Foot soreness, Sammo? 3 to 4 weeks?
Yeah. Sounds like they're going to push our boy Zach all the way until the trade deadline. That soreness is going to be there all the way up until then. It seems like, hey, it is what it is, man. I think they're trying to offload Zach. They don't want to get him hurt, or, Zach's not buying in. Whatever it is, I'm good with it, man. I like the brand of basketball we've been playing the past couple games, even though against Charlotte, man, I thought they took a step back. I only saw I didn't see the ball flowing as well as it did the previous 2 games, but I think
DeMar was back, and that could be an issue. That could be an issue.
Yeah, he was the leading scorer in that game too. I think he had like 29 points. So the ball was stopping a little bit too much for me. So hopefully they reviewed that on film and then went back to the previous 2 games and say, hey, let's get back to what we were doing, because tonight is not going to be an easy feat against that boy Wemby. That kid is good. Good. Yeah. What do they say? Yeah. Good. He is pretty darn good.
That boy good.
That boy is good. That is good. Yeah, he is. Everything is advertised, man. I didn't think that he would be this good immediately, but he's setting the league on fire and putting the league on notice like he is here. And he's only going to get better as he gets stronger and bigger, man. I can't imagine what he's going to be like to face in the next couple of years. So,
you know what? Think of the Greek Freak. I remember when the Greek Freak came in, he was skinny like that Joker, man. He was like, damn, dude, what you in Milwaukee? You better not catch a breeze because it'll knock your ass into the river, into the lake. You know what I mean? And he found the weight room, and the Greek Freak's not bulky, but you could tell he's found the weight room. He's got meat on him. He could take a beating. He could take a pounding going into the hole, contact, initiate contact. Wait till this guy puts on like 25, 30 pounds, because on that big frame, he'll go from like arms like this big to like this big. But you'll notice it. You'll notice it. And he won't lose a lot of his athleticism or his skill or his agility. And man, when you get a guy like that putting on muscle mass and gaining strength, not strength, strength.
Yeah. Get that strength up.
Man, he's gonna. If you think he's a problem now,
Yeah.
my goodness gracious, great balls of fire. He's gone. I mean, he's gonna be out of this world. So Levine is history in Chicago. We believe so, Junior. We believe so. You know what?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's okay. That's okay.
It is what it is, man. The Bulls have more things to worry about. They got a tough 7-game stretch, including tonight's game coming up, man. They only got 2 home games in that stretch. So I think they got the Spurs, Bucks. They get back-to-back against the Heat. They got the Nuggets, the Sixers, and the Lakers. It's like,
so the Bulls right now, they're at San Antonio tonight. All right. Then they're at Milwaukee on Monday. Then back-to-back here. Well, let me say, at Milwaukee on Monday, at home against Denver on Tuesday. Then they go to Miami on Thursday. So you go to the defending champ a year removed in the Milwaukee, or 2 years, in the Milwaukee Bucks. You got the defending champs coming in the night after you face the Milwaukee Bucks. Then you got to go down to the MIA to 305. Yeah, it's a nice little after facing San Antonio tonight. You're right, Sam. Well, that's a nice little stretch you got going there, man. That's a nice little stretch. Wow.
Yeah, it's something to be. They have to be prepared for that. That nice stretch right there, because those teams are going to come in and be looking to beat them up. I think the Heat is probably the only game I think they really had a chance in, and they stole a game from the Heat recently. So I think the Heat are going to remember that, and Jimmy Butler is going to remember that. He's not going to be letting up in those 2 games. So, hey, ball has to move, man. Let's play the brand of basketball we've been playing those past 3 games or 2.5 games, and I think we have a shot in all these games if we do that.
Yeah, I concur. And you know what? I like this type of basketball. I do. Don't get me wrong. I want stars and bigger stars, and but when you play this type of basketball, all right, it's impossible to literally figure out who's the dude.
Yep.
It's impossible. Like, when Zach's on the court, Zach most likely is going to have the ball in his hand at the end of the game. When you have guys, when the ball moves and everybody is confident in each other, and there's and the tier system, all right, it's there's a pecking order. When Zach and DeMar are on the court, Zach and DeMar first, everybody else second. And then everybody knows, right? We got to double Zach, we got to double DeMar. When they're not there, and you have a whole bunch of guys, just you don't know. You don't know, and now you're gonna be able to get some one-on-one looks and things of that nature, making it a lot easier. So we'll see. We'll see if they can continue playing that style of ball. And what it does is it keeps everybody on their toes.
Yep.
It keeps everybody on their toes, because tonight I might have to be the dude who shoots it. I might have to be the dude who takes the last shot, because the guy who was going to, who thought he had a good look, got a late double team, and now they swung the ball over to me. So I like it. I like it. Everybody's is involved in the game, because when you got ball dominant guys, you could tend to lull off and zone out, because what they're going to do. They're going to dribble, or drive to the hole and dribble, pull up with a midi. Like, come on, man. It works a lot, but it alienates a lot of the rest of the team. And with the style of basketball they've been playing the last couple of games, no one's been alienated.
Right. We haven't seen Kobe White play this well.
Yeah.
Ever. And Patrick Williams has been playing well.
Yes, he has.
In the basketball. We got Ayo's playing well with this great brand of basketball. Like, the other players are getting involved, and they're looking a lot better. And these are players who we Chicagoans have given up on, because we haven't seen them be consistently involved in the game. But when those 2 guys go out and these guys are all involved, it's like, hold on. So wait a minute. Is it those 2 guys that are just stopping the ball and just taking all the shots, and now we can't get a chance to see these other guys, so they're shooting the shots every now and then, and they can't get into the flow of the game? I think this gets those guys into the flow of the game a lot better. We have to maintain this brand of basketball, and if it means sitting Zach, which I think that's what it meant, that's what they decided to do. Like, all right, we're gonna sit Zach down because we know what's gonna happen when he steps onto the floor.
Yeah, and looks like we're probably gonna have to eat a lot of his contract in order to move him because people are gonna want to pay $200 million for a dude who's really an option. I think he's a good number 2. I think he's a phenomenal number 3 option. But number 1, I think he's in over his head. He just happened to be the best guy on the team here. He had some longevity here. So that's, I think, the Bulls were just kind of stuck, so, but we'll see. Well, keep it moving, baby. Next topic, the morning topic. Man, this was a bittersweet. Former Chicago Bears kicker Robbie Gould has retired. All right. Robbie Gould was money for us. Man, he finished first. He leads this franchise in points with 1,207. All right, he leads this franchise in most field goals made, 276, and he leads this franchise in field goal percentage at 85.4. This was a guy who was an undrafted free agent out of Penn State. He was actually working a construction job. He had a couple tryouts in 2005. He didn't make it. He went back to work construction, and the Bears called him, said, "Hey, come try out." And he was like, all right, fine. Never left. And he didn't leave for 11 years. Stayed here for 11 years. Had some huge moments for us. Won it with the Seahawks in the divisional round. Sent us to the NFC Championship game. So, yeah, great memories with Robbie Gould.
Absolutely. A lot of great memories with as good as gold, Robbie Gould.
Good as gold, baby. Yep.
As good as gold. This dude was money for us for years, many years, man. Like you said, his story is amazing. Coming off of a construction site and trying out for the Bears and having an 11-year career and leading a franchise, a story franchise in the Chicago Bears and points and field goal percentages and all that good stuff is just an amazing story, man. I hated to see him go when he did, and I was hoping that he would have come back a few times. There were a couple opportunities to bring him back that we didn't. I think he even wanted to be back in Chicago. I think he still maintains a home here.
He does. Yeah.
So, yeah. Man, good dude, man, who loves the game. And he also has a lot of football acumen, too, man.
Yes.
He's not just a kicker. Like, he's a really smart guy. I love his personality, man, and just, him as a player, man. He was reliable. That's the only thing you can ask for from your kicker is for a guy that's going to be reliable in the kickoffs, and he's going to place it where you want him to kick it on the kickoffs. And the field goals, man, he was money. He was that guy.
He's the only guy, if I'm not mistaken. That's the one I didn't. He's the only guy that what does he have? He's perfect in playoffs. In the playoffs, most playoff kicks without a miss. He's 29 of 29 field goals, 39 of 39 of extra points. That when the money's on the line, when it's playoff time, and you trot him out, it's good as gold. Whether it's an extra point, whether it's a field goal, this dude was amazing. I really think he could get a Hall of Fame consideration because of that. Because of that, and you talked about his personality. I believe he was a union rep for the Bears for a while. He was outspoken and just to ironic, he was in the house on the double doink. He was in one of the suites and he saw the double doink, and I can only imagine how he felt.
Yeah. Because
he was one of the guys who he used to go to Soldier Field like a day or two before the game. Like if the weather conditions were going to be the same, he wouldn't go to Hallis Hall. Him, the long snapper and the holder, Manley, him, and I forgot who the holder was. It was Brad Maynard, maybe. And they'd go to Soldier Field and kick. Because he made a great point. Because what the hell am I going to do? Why the hell should I be kicking at Hallis Hall?
Yep.
I'm not playing here. I need to be down there. I need to be kicking in the elements, especially down there when that wind's swirling around in off the lake around over Soldier Field. And he started doing that. And I thought that was, you talk about foresight, you talk about intelligence, and the Bears were like, you know what, brilliant, and that's why he was able to, he was able to be confident whenever he went out, didn't matter the conditions because he had kicked in those conditions, plenty of times. So, hats off to him. Congratulations on a phenomenal career. I think he probably made a little more money in football than he would have made in construction. Call me crazy. I don't know. but I'm happy for him. Yeah, he does. He does have a home here. So he it'd be good to see him around town every once in a while. That'll be dope. And he's, what's cool is like he's like an average Joe because he's not like 6'4", 270. You know what I mean? Like he's not a big dude. You can walk past like, wait, was that just Robbie?
You have to do a double take. Like, hold on, that guy looks like Robbie.
He does, man.
Shout out to him. Like, yeah, I believe in everything you said. Like, yes, he is absolutely worthy of Hall of Fame consideration, man. And like you said, he mastered Soldier Field, man. He's probably the greatest kicker I've seen in my lifetime in Soldier Field.
You got Derek Carter checking in the chat. What's up, Papa? How you doing? Thanks for tuning in, my man. Bellissimo. Oh, he's a retired bear. I don't care. No, I hear you. I hear he has to retire a bear. Otherwise, I'm going to have something to say if I ever bump into him downtown. Like, listen, homie. We gave you that shot. You came to prominence because of us. Us, like I had anything to do with it. You know what I mean? Like us. Bellissimo, thanks for checking in, Papa, from across the pond. I appreciate it. Love having him in the chat with us.
He's the most good people.
Well, you know what? The Bears. Speaking of, why don't we just stay with them? Why don't you just tell me the name of the movie you'd like to see? I'm kidding. The Bears, they prepare for their game Sunday on the lakefront, against the Detroit Lions, against the Detroit Sucks. I'm excited. Kickoff is at noon. Okay, that you can watch that game on Fox 32 locally, or you can listen to it on their flagship, the new flagship AM 1000. A lot of storylines going on for this one, and I'm looking forward to it. I'll be in the house. SuperBack will be in the house on Sunday, and I'm looking forward to checking it out. I'm looking forward to seeing how this team comes out and how they respond. I'm looking forward to Justin Fields to see how he responds with all the rumors and things circling him. And he talked about it earlier this week, Sammo. Like, yeah, he goes, I understand. He goes, but it's out of my hands what they want to do. What they're going to do. It goes out of my hands. I just go and play ball. And he kind of reverted to his faith and said, I trust in God and let God take it. Your thoughts on him finally, for the first time, really acknowledging, all the rumors and the speculation, the talk about his play.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. We know that athletes all say that they don't listen to, what's going on in the media. You might not be listening to it, but you're going to hear it. You're going to hear it at some point in time, because if you're not listening to it, your family members are, and they're going to tell you, or your friends, and someone's going to bring it to your attention. So he knows what's going on. He knows that he's fighting for his career. He doesn't know what's going to happen. And he hears all the rumblings from the Bears fans that are with him, and he hears it from the ones that are against him, and all the agents and the Caleb Williams fans and everyone else that are rooting against Justin right now and just not really in his corner. So, hey, he shows a lot of maturity in that sense, I think, when he says, like, hey, I'm going to control what I can control. Like, that's out of my hands. I don't think I can control this, what I can do on this field right now, and, and keep his faith in God and knowing that, it's going to work out for him in the end. Like, whatever happens. If it doesn't work out for Justin here, man, it's going to work out for Justin somewhere else. I think that the Bears will be making a mistake moving on from Justin, simply because I feel like he's a little ahead of some of the prospects that are coming out of college right now. And I think it'd just be a mistake to give up on the kid, man. I think he just needs proper coaching and some more tools around him, and we'll watch Justin take off. I just hope that this next game and these next games to come, he shows up and shows out, and we can put all that to bed, really.
All right, here. Listen, we got to take a quick break, and on the other side of the break, we're going to welcome our first guest all the way from the 313. My man Dennis Fithian. Yeah, he got some shit to talk to us. I know. You got the last one, you son of a gun. I know. We're getting this one, damn it. We're getting this one. My man Dennis Fithian from up in Detroit coming up next. So don't go anywhere, folks. Keep it locked right here. Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago.
Peace.
Hey, it's your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn, and be sure to follow Sports Zone Chicago on all social media platforms, on Facebook, Instagram, and our Roku channel. You can find us at Sports Zone Chicago, and on Twitter, we are at Sports Zone Shy. Also, be sure to download our mobile app so you can take Sports Zone Chicago with you on the go.
Time out. How are you feeling right now? Happy? Excited? Angry? Overwhelmed? One of the best things you can do for your mind health is to name what you're feeling. It can sharpen your awareness and help you talk about your feelings with someone you trust. Here are 3 questions to ask yourself. Where are your thoughts right now? In the past, the present, the future? Do you notice any sensations in your body? Is your heart beating fast? Is there a flutter in your stomach? Or are you fully relaxed? What do you need right now? Time with others? Time to yourself? Remember, there's power in this awareness. So find ways to identify what you're feeling today.
Hi, guys. Hey. Hi, Megan. Hey, Jessica. Megan, you're a tramp. Brian Fitch told me you guys made out. Everybody knows. He said your breath smells like garbage. And he almost puked. He says you're the most desperate girl he knows, besides your mom. How many boyfriends does she have anyway? Lots? Your makeup makes you look like a clown. That zit is huge, zit face. Ugly.
Hey, bud, what you doing?
I'm playing with cars.
Cars? Can you show me what a car does? Whoa. Hold on a second. First of all, this is a school zone. So you need to put down your cell phone, stop texting, and let's get to driving. Now you're coming up to a stop sign, right? You need to slow down and stop before you hit that Y line. I want you to look left, right, left. You don't want to get hit by a car going on your left, and to your right to make sure you don't get sideswiped by a guy coming from your right. You're coming, and you see a crosswalk. You better slow your horses down, because the #1 rule of driving is always yield to pedestrians. Now stop, pull over, and you are done driving. Gosh, what do they teach you kids in school nowadays?
Yeah, that's a good question, and really, it's about continuity. I think it's more about some of the pressure, that our front forwards providing, with Tez and the rest of the group, and our guys are really understanding the coverages now, and then to be able to skies those coverages, mix them in there, and I think that's really just all-encompassing for that. Certainly, there's some luck involved in it at times, the way the ball bounces, but again, hustling and attention to detail creates some of that luck too. I just think that. You mentioned about had a couple more, should have had a couple more. Well, we really got to create those situations for those players. A lot of it's catch angle, creating the game-like conditions in the drill work. And we got to do a better job as coaches for the players to put them in position so they can make those plays. And so we'll work on that.
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. That the head coach, Matt Eberflus, talking about catching, and he has a lot of coach talk, a lot of stuff that you don't give a damn about. It's really funny. A lot of times coaches do, because coaches hate that. Most of the time, most coaches really hate talking to the media. All right, you got the same dudes all the time. Some are annoying, some are whatever. So he's just kind of gone to the, I'm just gonna be the blah 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 route and coach talk and just which it's cool. That's fine. But he's got a big game. He's got a big game. I said earlier on this show and on other podcasts that I think the Bears can go 5-0. I think more likely maybe 4-1, because I think a game against Cleveland, because they got a good defense, although the quarterback situation sucks, or Green Bay would be with the one where they slip up. But they got a game on Sunday, okay? And this is a team that they should have had a victory against, but didn't. So we're going to bring back our guy. We talked to him back then. If he wants to gloat a little bit, I got to eat crow. I'll have it fried hard, please. That's all I ask. Up in Detroit in the 313, baby, former of 1050 AM, 97.1 FM. You can find him on Twitter at Dennis Fithian. Guys, welcome back to Shawn and Maya, Dennis Fithian. Dennis, what's up, Papa? How are you?
I'm 5-0.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at the quarterback situations are bad in everyone. Jared Goff usually doesn't play very well outside. Cleveland has no quarterback. Who the hell is their quarterback? Then you got Arizona. And then we have after Arizona. Then we have Atlanta, and then finally Green Bay. So Green Bay would be that's why I said either one of those two, or I think this defense, in my opinion, not in my opinion, but his defense has gotten better. You look at statistically. So yeah, 5-0. That's obviously best case scenario, but I'm thinking more 4-1, maybe 3-2. But 4-1 is minimum where I'm going.
Yeah, I could see 3-2, but look, I didn't think the Patriots were going to win last night. So
what the hell was that, dude?
I don't know. Yeah, they're win one for the coach, win one for Belichick. He was taking a lot of heat. That's what they were saying. Now Steelers going to have to win one for Tomlin. Man, he looked pretty pained there. They were booing him. It doesn't take long, man. The Steelers, the most Super Bowls in NFL history, man. Their fans are booing them, so it doesn't take long.
It doesn't. So we got a game this week. All right. This week, 48 hours, a little more than 48 hours. You guys will be on the lakefront. Talk to me. You're going in a little undermanned. We'll start on the defensive side of the ball. You're shorthanded. So Aleem McNeil is going to be out. He's a D tackle who's caused a few problems for us game one. Then you're going to be without your linebacker too, if I'm not mistaken. Middle of your defense could be suspect. How you feeling about going up against us with us getting our running back Deontay Foreman back?
Yeah, well, we'll see what's going to happen with at the linebacker position. They might get Irvin back, and Anzalone looks like he could be in there. But you're right. I mean, McNeil, that's a big loss. I mean, and the Lions defense, like if we're talking positive, which I guess we're going to do in a minute, we'll go over to the offensive side. But the defense, it's been the Achilles heel. I mean, this Lions offense, they have the capability to win a playoff game or two, but everybody's going to look over on that defensive side of the ball. So, yeah, I mean, stopping the run is going to be the biggest thing in this game. And, you put Fields into the mix there as well when you're talking about stopping him. He's more dangerous, I think, with his legs than he is with his arms. With his arm right now. I don't know about his arms, but his arm. So it'll be his legs that I'd have to worry about there. So, yeah, I mean, the Lions, they've been struggling to get pressure on the quarterback outside of Aiden Hutchinson. And, if you start just taking a look at the point totals, they've been giving up in their last 6 games, almost 30 points, 28 points per game. That's not going to get it done if you want to, they've got a 3-game lead on Minnesota. So I still think that they can win the NFC North. They better with 5 games to play in a 3-game lead. But, you keep looking at it. I know you do, and everybody watching. When you're watching any NFL game now, they keep putting up the playoff scenarios, and there's the Lions over on the left, and I don't see the Bears in the hunt, but if they go 5-0, maybe they will be. But they're the Packers and they're the Vikings, and you just start looking at the Lions' likelihood of being able to advance, and they might get Houston back, James Houston, who was a fabulous rookie for them last year. And was a sack machine, could get him back at the tail end of the year and then for the postseason. But, that's what it's about for this team. If they can win the division, they can have a home playoff game for the first time since 95, which is, that's all nice. But, you want to win that game and you want to take a shot at maybe winning another one. They've got to get it done on this side of the ball. So this is a game they point to. They should win this game. I know you guys don't like hearing that. Lions are a favorite, but they're looking at this one as one that they should be able to take care of.
Yeah, and I get it from your angle, your perspective. How do you feel about Jared Goff? He's historically not a great passer outdoors. He came to Soldier Field a couple of years ago when he was with the Rams. We were able to handle him then. It doesn't necessarily do that. Our defense is now as much improved. We added Montez Sweat, Javon Dexter Sr., Mr. Dexter. Javon Dexter Sr. is really growing into his own, coming into a man-child. Andrew Billings, who's really been collapsing the pocket from the inside, making it hectic for quarterbacks. And that turns it over to the strongest part of our defense, and that's the secondary. They've been playing very, very well at 8 turnovers in 2 games, or 8 interceptions, and 8 turnovers in 2 games. How do you think that they're going to be able to handle that? Because with our defense, who's really, and then again, we have a little chip on our shoulder. Right? We still, we snatched defeat from the jaws of victory against you guys, and and not to take anything away from you. You guys did what you needed to do, but also this is one that we let slip through our hands.
Yeah, well, watching the Lions like I have over the last 30 years, that last game against the Bears, that was one that's usually the shoe was on the other foot. The Lions play well for 3.5 quarters, only to see the other team just come snatch it from them, and that's what the Lions did. It's really weird, watching the Lions play like that. In terms of Goff, he's the splits that you're talking about, he plays much better indoors, plays much better at home. But as long as he's not turning the ball over and the Lions aren't fumbling it, that's going to be the key. I know that's a key for any team, but they've been turning it over. What did they had 4 turnovers against you guys last time. And, I would say if they turn it over 4 times coming up Sunday, they won't win the game. But, what Goff has is what every quarterback wants. He's got great weapons with the rookie tight end, Laporta, Amon-Ra St. Brown on the outside. And now – Jameson Williams coming along and what he's been able to bring. This is and the offensive line is one of the tops in the league. Football. And then they've got a 2-prong attack at running back. All of that is going to be a quarterback's best friend. So Goff is in a great situation. You want to start talking about his hand size and, how he plays when it's below 32 degrees. I get that. That's something he's got to overcome. But I think that with a healthy David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs. Frank Ragnow is one to keep an eye on.
That was going to be my very next question.
Yeah, that's a big deal, obviously.
Yes, it is.
He's making all the calls. He's, a Pro Bowl type center. And so that's going to be one to keep an eye on. I think this thing scrunches together a little closer if Ragnow's. But, he didn't practice yesterday, but it sounded like just looking at everything this week that it wasn't as bad as they thought last week, his knee. So, if I had to guess, I think that he would be out there in some kind of limited capacity today at practice, and then he would give it a go on Sunday. But that's just a guess. That's going to be a huge key, obviously. But, Goff, protect the ball. Don't fumble it. Don't turn it over 4 times. The Lions should have a pretty good shot at going in there of playing their game. We know at this point, when you play double-digit games, what these teams are going to do. Lions know what the Bears are going to do, and they know that the key is, being able to get Fields on the ground when things break down, not being able to let him scramble, take care of the run, stopping DJ Moore. Those are the 3 things, that the Lions will be focusing on, and, when the Lions have the ball, the Bears, man, they've got to they better be able to stop that run, because if not, we just talked about the weapons that Jared Goff has. And, he's one of the best at play action because of the Lions' ability to run the ball. So that's it. That's going to be number 1 on the whiteboard for Eberflus, whether it's coach talk or not. That's true.
You mentioned something earlier, and you said how, what happened to us up there is what happened to you guys. And I used to make fun. I used to say, hey, don't worry, Detroit's going to Detroit themselves. Like when DeAndre Swift dropped the touchdown pass in the end zone wide open a couple of seasons ago. Now I had to change it. So this time I'm like, yeah, don't worry, the Bears are going to Bears themselves, because it's literally changed. But this season until our last game when we played Minnesota, I think that was really huge for us in being able to overcome a deficit. We went, they scored late. They scored late, took the lead. And at that point, I was like, man, here's a key point. Are the Bears going to Bears themselves again and just let this be the game-winning touchdown or game-winning score? Or are they going to be able to come back? They are able to come back. I know it wasn't a touchdown, it was a field goal, but that's all we needed. And so I'm hoping that gives them confidence. And I think Detroit has confidence too. And I wanted you to know how fired up are they, because this is going to be the first time they will have won the division if they continue on their current pace in 15, 20 years since they won the division?
More than that. More than 30.
95?
95 was their last playoff game. They lost it to the Packers in overtime.
I know you won it in 91 with Barry when you beat the Cowboys.
Yeah, it's been a while. So,
wow.
over 30 years. So that's it. And so to that point, if you're a Lions fan, Lion fans don't know how to feel. Like they've collapsed every single time. They've been in position. They've had at least 3 or 4 times against the Packers going into the last game of the year where if they would have won it, they would have been able to, and they came up short. And, when you watch the Lions on Thanksgiving, I think a lot of those memories came rushing back. So Lions fans, they don't know what to do. Like everybody in the offseason, they're looking at the odds and saying, hey, the Lions are favored to win the division, the NFC North. And, people are already celebrating, the NFC North championship thinking, hey, but as this season has gone along and the Lions beat the Chiefs and they've had some big victories, people are, started thinking about, hey, maybe, they could make the NFC championship game. I mean, but then when the way they played against the Bears, and then even though they won it, and then Thanksgiving, I think, was a big smack in the face for a lot of Lions fans. I think they came back and they say, hey, maybe just a win in the North will be fine, and maybe winning that first playoff game. So every week it's with the fans. And I got to wonder if it's like that for the players too. Are they able to – Jared Goff did a good job this week and say, look, they can't just be thinking about winning the North. They got to be thinking about, you look at the entire NFC, and if you can go in there and, you can't just be satisfied with winning the NFC North. And you got to think about if you get into the playoffs, being able to advance. This team's got to play a lot better on defense, and they got to stop turning over the ball. And if they do that in these next 5 weeks, I think they could be a dangerous team. I think they can win a playoff game or two. But, right now, they got to win. And they played really well and then hung on against New Orleans. But there was a point before Thanksgiving when they came back against the Bears. I think they let their guard down a little bit. I think they were already thinking that, that they had won something, and they realized that they have not now.
That was the one thing the question that was asked. That's why I asked that. How they're kind of feeling themselves a little bit. I mean, shit, you should. You're in first place, but the job's not done. The job's not done. You still have 5 weeks, and I don't know how much I trust your play. I trust your coach. I believe in your coach. That son of a bitch, man, he's just old school, and he is perfect. When you guys got that son of a bitch, I was like, damn it. Like, he's that dude that guys are going to run through a brick wall for. He's that dude who's going to make, he's the multiplier. He's going to make the sum of those parts better. Then you started getting better players. And so those parts became more valuable individually, which meant the sum of those parts was even greater. And look at you got you guys in first place in the division. And that's what's scary. I really, really, really like your coach, man. He's old school. He's my kind of guy. He's not really savvy at the mic because he don't give a shit. I don't care what I say to you. What I care about is what I say to the guys behind those doors. That's the only thing that matters. I don't give a damn about this PR stuff talking to you, and I love it. He's about his team, his players, and his players feel it and they know it. There's no question that he is for them, and they know. And like I said, they'll run through a brick wall for him, and that's why I think you guys have the last couple of seasons have gotten progressively, noticeably better each year, and that's why it's going to be a tough matchup on Sunday. Give me your thoughts. Final score Sunday before we let you go.
Yeah, I think I don't want to say that I nailed the score the last time out, but I did have the Lions winning narrowly and having the Bears with the points. So that's not what a lot of people were saying. And this time I think, I do think that the Lions could cover that 3 points. I don't expect them to be down this entire game. You're talking about believing in Dan Campbell. Brad Holmes, Lions fans believe in their general manager. They believe in their head coach. But really, you look out on the field, you believe in the offensive line. You believe in Gibbs, watching him game in and game out. I mean, he is a special back. David Montgomery, I believe that he can get those tough yards and run between the tackles. So I believe in that. And if they're doing that, Goff with the play action and the playmakers that we've already talked about here, I do believe that the Lions are going to be able to put up some points. The defense has been obviously a big question, but I have the Lions winning this game about 30 to 24. So I think they'll cover that 3 points, relatively high-scoring game. And, I know that'll ruin your prediction of going 5-0, but, maybe 4-1. Maybe 4-1. But I believe the Packers are going to need that last game probably get into the playoffs. So if I had to predict, I'd say 3-2 for the Bears. But I know hopefully what you get is what your last guest was talking about. This is about Fields and him being able to show that he deserves to be the quarterback in the future. Because if you have that number 1 pick, it's going to be tough not to take Caleb Williams.
Yeah, well, that's another conversation for another day.
I know you. I'm sure
not a
you
big
guys talk
Caleb
about
Williams
that.
fan. You know me.
Ooh, you're not. Huh?
No, not. And you know what? Small world. One of my high school my running back teammates, one of my boys from high school, was his coach in high school. No, one of my guys in college. I'm sorry, my guy for Holy Cross was his college coach, high school coach. So I sent him. He sent me a mess. I sent him a message last year, and he was in New York with him. Got the Heisman. So I have a little connection to him, but I'm like, nah. You know what? I'm not feeling him. And then when he came out and said, "Oh, you know what? I want to go cuddle with my dog." Like, listen, homie, come on, bro, come on. Yeah. It's just too much stuff about. I didn't get a good feel about him. I'm like, yeah, I don't know. He's talented. Don't get me wrong, but there's other the intangibles for me is what really. So I'm not a big Caleb Williams fan. So we'll see. We'll see how it plays out.
Yeah, well, you're going to be able to get a lot of picks if you're sitting there with.
Damn right we are. Damn
it. So
yeah. Hey, Dennis, great stuff, Papa. Do me a big favor.
Right,
let everyone know where they can find you and your work online.
Yeah, at Dennis Fithian on Twitter X. That's the best way to do it. And if you're a big fan of the college game in Michigan and their upcoming Rose Bowl, I'm talking about them 3-4 times a week. I've got a post-game show after football and basketball games as well. Michigan-wise, and I'm always keeping an eye on the Lions and in most Detroit sports, not the Pistons anymore because they've lost I think 18, 19 in a row now. So not them. Everything except the Pistons. They filled that void that the Lions had for so many years. Like everybody, and the Pistons just jumped right in there and said, "Okay,
we'll take the baton.
We'll take it," and they're running with it, man. They are running with it. So,
hey, Dennis, great stuff, buddy.
Always good. Talk to you.
All right, man. We'll talk soon. Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Guys, that's Dennis 50 from up in the 313 up in Detroit. Him and Eminem were kicking it the other day. No, I'm kidding. I'm just bullshitting. He's up Detroit, covered the Detroit Lions. You heard 1050 AM and 97.1 FM. Was his home up there in Detroit. Great stuff. Great stuff. He had 30-24. I had 30-20 Bears. But we're going to see. And my next guest, we're going to ask him what he thinks. We're going to have this Caleb Williams, Justin Fields conversation again with my man Ken Davis coming up next. So don't go anywhere, folks. Keep it locked right here. Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago.
Fields a run for 17. Back he goes. Here comes Chubb. There goes the ball. Touchdown! Back at the left tackle, time for Fields. Now he'll accelerate to get the first down. Great tackles, and he's off to the races. And we got a terrific block.
For every generation, it has started with the call to serve. Discovering the purpose and the belonging earned with the title. Learning to dig deep and push through adversity together. Defending our nation and its people. It is a life of great worth and reward. But Marines are never really finished serving. Their commitment comes full circle, visible in communities across our country. This is Semper Fidelis, always faithful. Always Marine. Marking a path for the next generation.
So I've come up with the family emergency plan.
Great. What is it?
It's difficult to talk about, so I'm not telling you.
How will we know what to do?
You won't.
I'm so glad I won't have to remember anything.
And me too. Thanks for this, sweetie.
Talk to your kids about who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Search Ready Kids at nyc.gov or call 311.
Lou said earlier that with the offense, offense, one of his goals was to have the offense get better after sudden change situations. So what's the mindset to be able to capitalize on those opportunities and turn those into scoring opportunities?
I mean, the mindset is just score. Of course, the better we play complementary football, the better we give our team a chance to win. So, of course, we want to capitalize on those moments when the defense does give us a short field, or, we do have a sudden change moment where they get a turnover or something like that. But, definitely want to start turning those into, touchdowns and, for at least, 3 points. So, definitely got to do a better job with that. I mean, at the end of the day, I think, every opportunity, we get, we got to capitalize on it. So not really just one in particular, but, every time, that does happen where we get a short field or a sudden change, our mindset is to go out there and score.
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. That was our quarterback, Justin Fields. And you got to have that mindset. You got to punch it in. All right. And that's the thing. You can't settle for three. That's destroyed us for so many years, just settling for three. And there's got to be an assassin, a closer's mentality that is involved. But that's developed over time. All right. You don't just say, okay, I think I'm going to come out with this mentality. No, it takes time. It's trial and error. There's failure. Okay. Last week was one of them. Although I shouldn't say that it was one of them. They didn't need a touchdown. They needed a field goal, but you would have liked touchdowns earlier in the game to kind of mitigate that necessitating even a score. You score 2 touchdowns early, it's a different game. So, but I do like the fact that he realized that, hey, we got to be more aggressive. Like it's doggy dog world, man. And that's the thing in this league, you have to be aggressive at all times. Well, my next guest is a friend of the program. You've seen him here once or twice. He is the host of the Under Center podcast, also of That Davis Show. You can find him on Twitter at That's Davis. Let's welcome back my man's in them. It's been a minute. No, it hasn't been a week. It seems like forever. My man, Ken Davis. What's up, baby? What's up?
What's going on? What's poppin', Shawn? What's going on, my guy?
Man, it's Friday. It's Mickey Ficky Friday, baby. I love it. Woo, Charlie. Looking forward to a nice little warm day today. Nice little warm, rainy day tomorrow. And nice brisk Sunday morning, afternoon on the lakefront. Man, how you doing, man? It's been a while. What? 3 weeks? A month?
It's about 3 weeks, maybe a month. I feel like it's been about 3 weeks, but to a month, man. We still gotta find something to do where we can get together and hang out in person, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat. I miss all of y'all too. But yo, what's going on, man? What's going on? Let's talk to these Bears.
Man, I'm excited.
I see you in here hating. I saw you in here hating.
Dude,
he want to go and be with his dog. Oh my God.
I want to cuddle with my dog, man. We don't want to hear that.
I don't care what you do as long as you go win. I don't care. You can have 8 arms as long as I personally don't care. You can go paint your toenails. Dog, if you ball out, I don't care. That's all I want. Make my Sundays easy. You make my Sundays easy, you can do whatever the hell you want to during the week.
Yeah, that's not the mentality I want from my quarterback. Sorry.
The mentality.
No, I'm gonna go cry with mom. Come on, bro. You're the leader.
Cry with mom. Bro. Hey,
no, you know what? You do that
now look, I'll be honest with you. I'll tell you this. I don't want to see that in the pros. I'll be honest. Go find a bathroom or something. I don't want to see that in the pros. I would be lying.
I get it, bro.
I don't want to see that in the pros. I will push back on that. But dude, the rest of the stuff, man, I don't care about.
Mad love in here, man. Ken, the perfect music for Ken. Ken in the house.
Come on,
Very
man. Shout out
podcast.
Mondo, Cornelius, Shorty, Mashawn.
They love you.
Everybody, shout out everybody, man.
They love you, man.
Mondo, tell Patty I said what's up.
Man, so yeah, I'm looking forward to. We'll talk about those two later, but I'm looking forward to Sunday, man. Here's a chance for the Bears to kind of get back on track. I know they won last week, but I mean, literally get revenge. All right, Detroit,
or win consecutive games, perhaps.
Well, consecutive games, win 2 games in the division for the first time,
right.
in a row the first time.
Right.
So I think talk to me how you think they're going to come out, because I know how I'd come out. All right, they should be pissed. You lost a game that you should have won in their house.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of speculation. Justin the other day came out and actually first time acknowledged, all the rumors and the garbage, the stories around them. How do you think the Bears as a whole are going to play? How do you think Justin, is going to come out?
I expect Justin to come out and play well. I think I still want to know what the game plan is when it comes from the person calling the plays. I much more lean on Luke Getsy being the issue than Justin, even though there are things that Justin can improve on. We can't just have a blind eye and think Justin is perfect. He's not perfect at this point in his development, but that also comes from the people that have been developing him. I think they should come out running the damn ball hard and going directly at that defensive line.
And stop it. You're making too much sense, bro. Stop. Don't be making too much sense, dog. Stop.
I mean, but take advantage of the weapons that you have in DJ Moore and Cole Kmet. And I mean, these guys should be getting fed the ball, like fed the rock in every layer of that field, hitting them at different aspects, not just screens.
Brandon Marshall and Jay Cutler fed.
yeah, dude. Like where the quick slants at? Saying more play action. I mean, but like, why have DJ Moore and you're not taking advantage of him in quick slants? Now, if you get in a situation where you're quick slanting it up and now those linebackers and DBs are starting to sit in that space, I get why you're going to go away from them. But you haven't even told them this is what I'm going to do this season. But the thing is this, with me, when it comes to this Detroit team, the thing that was bad for the Bears when facing Detroit is it reaffirmed Detroit to Detroit. Because Detroit during that game, and Shawn, you play professional sports, so you already know. If you go into a game and it's a team you expect to beat and they're befuddling you, and you still like, yo, this is us, we can do this. And then you pull off that it's this that we can do, it helps Detroit not just against the Bears, but if they make it, when they make it into the playoffs, if they're down, they can go back and recall, yo, we did this right there when Chicago was sitting there at the Dome or whatever. Let's go run this back again. And that's where I kind of have a fear where you would think, man, the Bears should be like, we had them down, let's go finish it. But Detroit should be like, man, we played a bad game and still was able to come back and put up 2 scores in 4 minutes.
4 turnovers
and that
still.
Yeah, so that's where it's still like, yeah, Chicago has the ability to beat most of the teams they play if you look on paper. Mm-hmm. All right. If you look on, that's why at the beginning of the year, we expected the season to be better than what it was. And that's before you brought in Montez Sweat. So it's like they can do it, but that's why it's so frustrating with this coaching staff, because they've been an impediment of it happening. It's like y'all are the reason this ain't working. So, and I know this isn't the question. Then I'm supposed to be happy they're getting it right now. And it's like, nah. I use it, okay, Shawn, I use relationship analogies all the time, right?
Yeah, you do.
That's like she been cheating on me for 1.5 years, and now, so you're going to tell me this like the 5 weeks before this, the 5 weeks before this and the next 5, she going to be right. And I'm like, man, she acted right, man. She cheated on me for 2 years, but now she actually treated me right. Like, no, I'm expecting sooner or later you're going to go back to what you do, right? And that's not knowing what to do. And I'm not willing to take that gamble. I'm out. This whole, you listen to the last few weeks, this narrative in town where it's like, yo, man, and I'm talking about if he pulled this off, man, he get to stay. No, he don't. No, he don't. I'm not running this back. It has nothing to do with keeping things together. And I'm not running this back. I've seen enough of this to know this should have been. You train your whole sprint, your whole training camp, your whole preseason for game 1. But that's all you do when you sitting there and you train it. And it came out here at the beginning of this year like nothing, like children playing against grown-ups. And that even goes for just the thoughts and the schemes. And it's frustrating as a Bears fan because we shouldn't be in this situation. We shouldn't, even like us talking about Caleb Williams, we should be in a point, a little bit of this is Justin, but most of this is Luke Getsy. But also it falls on Matt Eberflus, because the thing that people keep forgetting, he runs the offense too. He tells him, this is what I want to see. I want to see more running. I don't want to see you sitting there and every time we get in the fourth quarter and lately you're mixing it up. You're throwing the ball early in the downs, but then we get to the fourth quarter, you go run, and then you go third and long with Tyson Bagent and Justin Fields. What sense does that make?
Yeah.
You know, that's not just on Luke Getsy. Flus is either after he did the first time, Flus will be like, don't do that shit again. Or the second time he's like, yo, you know what you did, don't do that right now. You know what I'm saying? So it's just I'm through. But back to this game, Bears definitely have an opportunity to pull it off. I don't know if they're going to pull it off or not. So I'm interested to see. This will tell us a lot because this is one of the better teams in the NFC. You know, the Bears got some winnable games. Not to say that this one isn't winnable, but when you're talking about you got the Cardinals still, you got Atlanta, you got some games that you can easily win and get to 6 victories. But to me, I'll say this. So some people will be like, look, man, they finished the season and you know they 6-11 or 7-10. Didn't you kind of think that? Where about the context of it? That's the important part. If I just landed here and you told me there were 7-10 and last year they were 3-14, that sounds good. But if I've lived here and watched how it went, I know it's a lot worse than what that record displays. But yeah, that's Ken's rant to start off Shawn and Maya in the morning. Or to close Shawn and Maya in the morning, rather.
I think he's going to come out and play well also. I just think he's too much of a competitor, you know. And for me, my issue with Justin Fields is stop being such a fucking nice guy. All right, you got to get more of an asshole. You got to come in and like, nah, I don't like this play. This play's stupid. I'm feeling something else. You know what? They want to screen. No, how about this? How about we run I need a slant out of you. Or how about this? How about we run a fake screen? DJ Moore, you block, or Darnell Mooney, you block for DJ Moore, and then slip out. And now I got you. Boom. Now this guy, because now this your defender is going to be coming up to run. And after you run or two, I get it. We're going to bitch and moan, but set it up. That's the issue I have. Set that shit up. Good coordinators. And I was talking to this in a couple of podcasts. Good coordinators set shit up not just for the game, but for the season.
Yep.
But for the season. So now if Luke Getsy comes out and does that, I'll be like, okay, maybe you are learning. I still don't want you here, but maybe you are learning. Okay, to help do certain things. But Justin also has to be at that point where it's your second year in the system. I know the system sucks for you. Okay, and they for whatever reason, but you should know different plays in the system that can be effective. You should know. You've had Darnell Mooney. He's in the second year too. You have Cole Kmet. He's in the second year too. You have EQ St. Brown, whatever he does. He's in the second year too. And you got DJ Moore who can adjust anything because that dude's a Mickey Ficky stud. Use it to your advantage, man. Like, you know, I'm not running that. All right, how about this? What personnel I jag in? All right, cool. Here's what we got. Boom, boom, boom. Call the play. And what are they going to do? Fire you, Justin? What are they going to bench you? No. He needs to be more of a leader, more of a jag bag. Cutler would have done it. All right, you name me the great quarterbacks who haven't done it. That play, get the hell out of here. We're running this one. All of them have done it. Justin needs to do that. I think, and if he does, he's already got the mad respect of the locker room. If he does and is successful, how much more respect and loyalty are the players gonna have for Justin? He's like, man, he changed the play and he's got a first down, or again, it kept the drive going, or it was it just shows that you own this. And I feel Justin's got to do a little better job. And you know me, I love Justin. But man, you got to grow too. You have to win despite your coaching, because you know good football. You just need tweaks here and there from a coach. You know good football, and you're the one out there. You got to do it. He's got to step up, man. And I hope he does, because this kid is special. This kid is special when he's comfortable and he's playing free. Talk to you about this run game. All right, they're missing their D tackle, Aleem McNeil. He was a problem for us last time we played. Their linebacker might be out. I was talking to Dennis prior to you, which means that middle of that defense is going to be a little compromised.
Which linebacker, Campbell or the kid, the dude that came from New Orleans, the white boy with the long hair, Alton? Okay,
yes,
okay.
Him. He's. They said he might go, but his hands hurt. If his hands hurt, bro, come on. You can tackle me as a linebacker? Come on. But anyway.
That's what I'm saying. Come on. Use your arms. Like, your hand? You better club that bad boy up. Let's get going.
You have to. You have to. So, and we get Deontay Foreman back, and he's our downhill runner. What are your thoughts on the Bears of being able to attack? And you said run the ball. What are your thoughts, and then being able to really, really affect and be productive in the run game with those guys out?
I'm fearful in the matter. because for some reason when the Bears know that something works, they don't use it. I think a lot of us at the beginning of the year thought that the Deontay Foreman should have been the bell cow, and you should have used Khalil Herbert the same way that you did with David Montgomery. And we had to wait until Khalil Herbert got hurt and Roschon got hurt for you to finally put the guy in that's probably the better of the three running backs, because he has, wiggle and a little bit of speed to where you think about how many home runs he could have had if that linebacker or that safety didn't catch his shoestring tackle him. Like he's had some opportunities. I know he said it himself, but you got to run it up the gut. You got to take advantage of where Tevin is at. You know what I'm saying? You got to go up that way. You got to go on the other side with Wright and Nate Davis. It's not the same as when it was Tevin and Wright as far as they was bullying cats out there. But but we know that's what they're supposed to. Like, see, that's why I'm not forgiving nobody this year, to be honest with you. You knew running the ball. All the great teams now, for the most part, even though they're flying through the air, they are dangerous run teams. Look at what Mostert and Achane are doing down there in Miami. You look at what McCaffrey's doing with the 49ers. You look at what Swift is doing with the Eagles. Like most of the teams where we're talking about, man, look at their offense. Like back in the days, it wasn't like that for a period of time when it was all through the air and people weren't doing it as much. But all these teams are putting it to you with the run too. The Bears were the best run team in the NFL last year and forgot it. So it's confusing that this is simple football. This is Pop Warner-ish, basically. Yep. You know what I'm saying? This isn't complex. I'm not out here giving you exotic X's and O's when I'm saying this. I'm talking about complimentary football. So yeah, they should get out and run the ball. They should definitely, and this is this remedial football, take advantage of play action. I don't understand why and I love that one. I don't understand why the guessing, but it's just, dude, I cannot. I think, Shawn, I'm a good person for the most part. I'm flawed like anybody else. I don't really like calling for anybody's job. I wouldn't want nobody doing me like that, but I don't want to call for it. But I cannot say, let's run this back. I'm just being honest with you. It's just because there's too many things that are simple football ways that they do not implement. And I think, and this is where it's going to hurt some of y'all in a good way. Remember Tressman and how it got. And I know this is swinging in a different manner because they got hot. They're getting hot right now. But we'll just remember how confusing it was where they just weren't fundamentally sound. And the Bears were smart to know, like, after 2 years, that's enough. Yeah, we usually don't do this. We give our coaches more length, but this is a mess. This is better than that because of looking at where the defense is. I'm not going to lie and just to make my point. It is better than that, but they've been too confused over 2 seasons where they figure something out and then forget how they figured it out. And to that point, I can't go into another year hoping that this year you remember what was working last year. That's just too much for me. But as far as what the Bears should do on offense, we've talked about it. First of all, I know now they have been making sure that DJ Moore is getting, almost double-digit targets.
He better, hell yeah.
Right. But what was the point? But I mean, that's how the season was supposed to start out. You know what I'm saying? Why? Like, one, you set him up. Then when teams are over defending him, you take advantage of him as a decoy to hit somebody else. That's simple football. It's what you were just saying as far as setting stuff up. All right, I'm about to show you this, but now this is really for Mooney. Oh, I'm about to show you this. Now this is really for Kmet. Oh, I'm about to show you this. This is really for one of the running backs. But all the time, it looks like we're going to go to DJ Moore. This is easy. This isn't hard to take advantage of a guy that you're paying. I know he doesn't have a crazy contract, but you're still paying him $14 million a season. You traded a number 1 pick to bring him in here. You should be exploiting him. So we'll see. We'll see.
It needs to be Cutler Marshall type targets, bro. I'm sorry. It needs to be. Yeah. Give him a shot. He's double team. Fuck it. It's DJ Moore.
Have to. That's part of it. That's why you have those type of guys.
Yes.
You don't go out and get a top flight receiver to be like, oh, he's covered. No. What did Devontae Adams tell those quarterbacks with the Raiders? He's like, my open is different than what you think when I'm double covered. Right? It's a different type of open. So it may look like I'm double covered, right? But hit that window, right? That's come on. And then listen. So then this is also what's frustrating because it's like, do you want to be here referring to Luke Getsy? Because I would have made everything on Justin. And the stuff that we saying, I would have implemented it, and you would have had to find out if Justin can consistently do it or not, right? Because I'm running, I'm giving y'all the plays. That would be my excuse. If the kid's just not getting it done, but you haven't done that. You have been the weakest link, consistently the weakest link. But again, I know I didn't mean to go off on a damn.
Sorry, baby, that's cool. We're passionate about it, bro. We're passionate about it. Give me your thoughts. I know you said you don't want to see, but what about the argument that, hey, this defense is number one against the run? This defense in the pass is middle of the pack. Last year, we're literally 31st and 32nd. What if how upset would you be? Or give me your thoughts if they say, hey, listen, you could stay Eberflus, but your boy Luke, he got to go. And he goes and gets
who's going to come here and be an offensive coordinator for a coach on the hot seat? Who? Remember, that's how you got Shawn Desai as your defensive coordinator, right?
He's doing work too, boy.
I'm not. No. But we had to
work now.
we had to go through training him. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, he took years to get to where he's doing work. But you just think about that, where no one's going to be like, yo, I'm an offensive coordinator. You know what I want to do? I want to go sit with this lame duck coach for a year so I can move my family, then move him again. You know what I'm saying? Like,
if you keep him, I don't think he's going to be a lame duck coach, because he's not going to have the option of going to get a new guy. Like, I don't want a new guy. If you keep Eberflus, I don't want a new guy. I don't want a new guy, because then if for some reason
a new guy for what? What do you mean?
So like Johnson, the OC from Detroit, or someone who's one of our first-time OC. I don't want one of those, because any success that the Bears have, he's gone. He's gone, and now you got to start over.
You can't live. I told you this when people were saying, "What if Luke Getsy is good and he leaves?" You do not live in fear, because one, if you bring in someone who is smart and intelligent, one, he teaches your coaches and your head coach those type of systems and things that they can hopefully implement and bring in somebody else. You do not say, I don't want the best in case he may leave me, is not the way to go about it. No, you want the best. If you want the thing, if you want to see what this offense can be, think about everything you just said. Everything you said earlier means you want Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson not coming here to be our offensive coordinator. He's going somewhere to be a head coach. But what you said is you want that type of offensive coordinator. Why would those coordinators come here to be with him when there's a chance it can all go to hell next year and he may be on his way out? That's why don't even play this game with Matt Eberflus, because we've seen it too many times. You say, you know what? I do like what you've done with this defense, but it's a cover 2 defense. I could find somebody to run that. This isn't like the most exotic 3-4s where we're every game plan, we're shifting and doing something different to Bill Belichick. This ain't that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to take away from what he's done, but to act like he's the only person. Like you said, the run game the run defense is phenomenal. The pass defense is middle of the pack. I'm not saying that's the worst looking at where they came from. I'll give him some props. But to think he's the only person that can execute that, I'm not going to sit here and say that, because it's not the most complex defense that they're running in the NFL. We've seen cover 2 guys come and go in this bad boy. So I don't have to hold on to Matt Eberflus. The question is still, how is he as a CEO, as a head coach? That answer is not a good answer.
Let me tell you this, and there I'll disagree with you. Is X's and O's last year? You have to take that into consideration. The fact that he was stripped of the defense, was stripped down to the studs. Still 7-8 one-score games. Okay, and here's the compelling reason that I think that he's staying. He has not lost that locker room. There have been coaches who've had a 3-game losing streak where people start mouthing off, people start coming out, and you start hearing fractures in that locker room. That has never come out of that Bears locker room. And to go through 14 straight, and guys are still, they're frustrated. Of course they are. But you have no one coming out and really popping off. That shows that the players believe in him. And he kept saying, we're close. Yeah, they were close. We kept losing 1-score games. We're doing this and that, but they were close. That shows that they believe in him. That shows that he's got their attention through a brick wall for him. And as far as you're talking about the offensive coordinator, no. Some people are just better at coordinating. All right. Vic Fangio. All right. Went to be a head coach. I got it. He went up there, got his ass kicked, and what does he realize?
You know who is
coach.
You know who's better. You just answered your question. You know who's better at coordinating? Matt fucking Eberflus. Yeah, that's what he's better. But look, my point to you is,
but you can still get another guy for him.
But being a head coach isn't his strength. Like you're absolving him of everything that's happened on the offense, and he's the head coach. He told us he's the CEO.
I'm not absolving of it at all.
He's the CEO. He's the CEO. He says I sit in with the offense. I sit in with the quarterbacks to give them a different way. You're absolving all of that because the run defense is good.
No,
it's too many. It's too many other holes to be like, oh, let's run this back. So what happened if they forget how to run the football again next year, Shawn? What happened if the run defense, it takes half a season before the run? Because I'm going off of what I've seen, not what I hope. I'm not going off of hope. All right. And just because he hasn't left the locker room, part of that is the character of the players when you're talking about the locker room. And I don't even want to diss him. If he hasn't lost the locker room, that's still not a reason to keep him. I'm going to keep a bad coach because he hasn't lost the locker room. I want wins. That's what I want. I want wins.
You can't put last year on him. You can't put
I'm putting this year on him. I'm putting this year on him. You had all offseason to come in and have a better team, and you have to figure it out. Why? Like that doesn't. And how do I know he won't?
So you have a better team.
How do I know he won't do that again? How do I know?
Have a better team now.
This is my problem. How do I know they won't have to learn football again next year? I don't want to do that dance. Learn how to get the defense together. Offense still comes and goes.
He's there. They don't need it. It's not like he's still there. He's running the program. Or and here's what I said. I don't think he's a bad head coach. First of all, he's new, so he's learning just like anything else. So for someone like that to be as seasoned as other people, it's different when you're sitting in that chair. When you're a coordinator, it's easy to say what you're going to do if you're a head coach. When you're a head coach, it's a whole different ballgame. Secondly, no, I don't want the Ben Johnsons. I don't want. Give me a Greg Roman. Give me a someone who's realized, you know what, I'm probably best here. Someone who can stay, who's probably not going to be a head coach because they get in where they fit in. Some people are just great at coordinating, necessarily head coach. You go get someone like that.
Why are you living in fear? Why are you living in fear? Fear if that coordinator gets hired someplace else. So you're telling me you would rather take
not a great offensive coordinator?
Is he still with the damn Ravens?
No.
What? Yeah, because you know what? You know what? Because Lamar Jackson was like, I want some new shit. This ain't working. That's why he's on the streets. That is why he's wait. So you think Lamar Jackson had no say in if Greg Roman was retained or not? The guy that's one of the highest paid quarterbacks in the NFL, he didn't have any say. He wanted a new system to show that he was even a more developed quarterback. So even with that, I'm not saying that Roman wouldn't help from where we are right now. That's not what I'm saying. But the point is to cut off people because you're fearful that they may be attractive to other people. You should not live in that lane. Your general manager should be able to know and have a list of guys who can come in and exceed, but you would want the best guy to come in here and set this up, even if it's better for another guy, rather than have someone be somewhat mediocre. And like, I can't vibe with that.
For me, that dude, and that's cool. You don't have to, because I'm not asking to do that, because we're bringing in a guy who will teach. If you can bring in a Greg Roman is well-versed in handling quarterbacks with Justin's skill set. He's well-versed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now you don't think I doubt it's going to be Janako, but I think the whole offensive staff might be gone. But whatever. Whoever the next guy is behind him, the quarterback coach, they're going to be learning under him. But Roman's not the kind of – he's not unless Jimmy calls him. And I think he may be waiting to see what Jimmy's doing up in Ann Arbor. But what I'm saying is you got a guy there who can mentor the next guy, who can show him, and if he does go, fine. But Greg Roman's most likely not going to be a head coach. Some people know their lane. So he can be here for 2, 3, 5 years, and then if he wants to move on to another gig, cool. But now you have somebody underneath him. I don't want not a one and done. I don't want a one and done guy, because how much can you learn in 1 year? You can learn somewhat, but you can't learn a lot. Give me 2 or 3 years, and then you bounce. I got you. You want to do it?
Ben Johnson's not a one and done guy. He stayed. So why can't we get a Ben Johnson type? Is my point. Like you just said, 2 years is fine. I'd rather have the better of the two. And if he walks, he walks.
I want an OC who's
and then special player. Let me finish this point. Let me finish this point.
Differently.
Even with the Greg Roman, there's only a certain level that he can take the offense to where it doesn't develop to the next level. And we've seen that with Colin Kaepernick, and we've seen it with Lamar. But I'll also say this: Greg Roman. Why would Greg Roman come to be with a lame duck coach?
It doesn't mean he's a lame duck coach. He's got it. Probably going to have. If you keep Eberflus, this is a big if. He's not going to be one more year. It's going to be a minimum of 2 years. Minimum.
Okay, it's a check. I'll give you. And that's really my biggest fear. And I'm upset with you for doing this. Right? Why the fuck do you want to Dick Duran this? Because that's what's going to happen. Probably they mess around, bring him back next year. They have a decent year. Then the year after, he going to fall on his face. Then we're going to be like, why do we do that? And we knew better. I don't get it. I don't get it.
If you want, and here's one of the things they talk about culture in the locker room. And if you want a guy, and you talked about there's guys who can run this, there's guys who can run this cover too. I agree. There's a guy who's about to get fired right now. I mean, Ron Rivera, who's run this defense. Now, he may not want to come back to Chicago because of the way he left. Cool. I get it. I respect it. No problem. But if he does, you have a former Bear who's leading Chicago Bears defense very well. And if he doesn't want to come, cool. I got it. There's another guy named Leslie Frazier who's out on the street, another former Chicago Bear who can run this defense just as well. You can go get guys who can run this, and now you want Eberflus to be that CEO? Cool. I'm okay with it. And that if they keep him, that's all if they keep him. That's if they keep him.
Two things. Why do the guys have to be former Bears? One.
They don't have to.
All right.
But
that's what you gave me. You gave me former Bears. And this is the
thought.
This group think, the group think that we do, where it's this. I don't like the paint nails, and they got to be a former Bear. Dude, I just want winners. That's what I want. I don't. And then another thing, just real quick. I don't think Matt Eberflus. I think Matt Eberflus would be smart enough to pull a Lovey. I would not have a guy that I know they would take my job in a heartbeat. If Ron Rivera come, first of all, I don't even know if Ron Rivera would come here to be a defensive coordinator.
Right.
But if Ron Rivera, but still, if Ron Rivera came here, Matt Eberflus better start packing his stuff up. All right, like really quick. Because first of all, he's a better head coach than Matt Eberflus.
So isn't that what smart people do? You hire people smarter than you to work for you.
No, because you don't. Now you're not going to fire you. No, you don't, because you're too afraid they're going to leave. You don't. No, you don't hire people smarter than you, Shawn, because you're too afraid they're going to get hired someplace else.
No, you're not.
You just said that. I'm afraid of these guys. Somebody may like
them. I'm afraid because I don't want I don't want it one and done. If it's a one and done, now if you get a guy and he leaves after 2 years or 3 years, of course I wanted to. You by all means feel free to go do your stuff.
Why do we operate? Oh, okay. And this is a Chicago thing. Why do we live in fear?
I'm not living in fear.
Yes, this is fear. No, because you're afraid. Fear. You're afraid nobody else can run a cover two. Oh my God, nobody else can run a cover two. This guy right here. You got a bad coach, and you're giving him more chances. I thought you liked Justin Fields, because this coach has not helped Justin Fields. So, why do you keep giving someone who's messing up opportunities? Isn't that the definition of insanity? That's my point. So you want Justin to be better, but you want part of the reason he hasn't developed to continue to be the head coach. I don't think that floats in my opinion. I
don't think his. I think Getsy's gone. So the fact,
but he's in charge of what Getsy does.
I understand, which is why he's gone. Which is why I think he's gone. I think
he was the CEO guy. I'm the CEO. I'm just not a defensive coordinator. I'm a CEO. Right. I'm on both sides. So he's openly said he's in charge of what happens on offense. So why are we saying he has nothing to do with it? You've been a coach. You know the head coach can tell you go for it on fourth. Listen. I know you want to do all that bullshit. Run the damn ball. Hey, simplify. The head coach is in charge of the final, whatever finally happens. So we can't sit here and just say all the offense is on Luke Getsy. No, it's on Matt Eberflus too.
It's on Matt Eberflus. And guys, we're joined by Ken Davis, host of the Under Center podcast on NBC Sports Chicago, talking Bears football passionately here on Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. You talk about him being the CEO, and you talk about the guy gave you two defensive coordinators, and you say they don't have to be Bears. They don't. They just need someone who's very proficient and been able to run a 4-3 defense, all right? Because you're giving someone a playoff caliber defense. Now on offense, I need someone who can coach a special player like Justin. Quarterbacks like Justin, as in vogue as they are becoming, they're not all blessed with the same skill set. So I need someone who's coached the Colin Kaepernick, and he's coached a Lamar Jackson. He's coached and has been successful in both of those places. That's the guy I want. And I'm not in fear of him leaving. I want a guy who's going to have some continuity with Justin, because when you have continuity, things are better. When you have continuity, there's a lot less learning. There's a lot less thinking, reacting. So that's why I wanted someone like a Greg Roman, who most likely is content with this. And if he does want to go for a head coaching job, fine. But give me 2 to 3 years. So after 2 years, I am completely comfortable with this offense where I can make things. So if it's a quarterback coach, if it's who steps up and becomes the OC, cool. Now we can work in tandem. I have an understanding of it from 2 years. You have an understanding of it, and now we can work together. And he's going to have a little different take on it from say Roman, and now we can work together to make this offense great. I'm not living in fear of anyone leaving. I'm in fear of anyone leaving after 1 year, because you give me Jay Cutler, six coordinators in 8 years, and you expect an offense to be good. It's not happening. You cannot continue to change offensive coordinators and expect their offense to run smooth. It's not going to happen, because somebody, usually Jay Cutler, would get it. Cutler was intelligent, unbelievably intelligent. He gets the offense, but now you need the wide receivers to get the offense. Now you need offensive linemen to get the offense. Now you need the running backs to get the offense. Everybody at the different positions have to get the offense. You can't change it every single year. 6 and 8. Justin, 3 at Ohio State. He's had 4 in 3 years. Or didn't he have a laser too? 5? What's his 4th year? Ryan Day, Nagy, Laser, Getsy. So he's got 4 in 5 years. 4 coordinators, 4 play calls in 5 years. That's not going to help. That's not going to help.
This isn't a debate that I'm not saying this is what you do. You're going to get a guy and hope he leaves in a year. I'm saying get the best guy. I'm not going to do it if I'm just looking at it. Well, maybe what if he's hot? I mean, if you think about it, it's a chance if they had a good offense next year, the guy would leave, but it's a good chance it's going to take him a few years before people really think it's just not a flash in the pan. I would get the best guy. Like, that's, for me, when it comes to head coach and it comes to coordinator here, I'll get the best person, period. That's all. I wouldn't do it with any fear in my heart of if this could happen, if that could happen. I'm going to form the best triumvirate when you're talking about 2 coordinators and head coach that I can possibly get my hands on. But I would not sit here and say that I want what's best for Justin, and I still trust Matt Eberflus to be involved in that. Me personally, I wouldn't. I've seen enough of Matt Eberflus, and I was a big proponent of Matt Eberflus. I don't think he's a bad person, but I've seen the show enough. And just because you've kind of gotten it straight isn't enough for me. It's just, that's just me. That's my opinion. It's not enough for me. I know you're not the one. I do. In my heart of hearts, and I could be wrong. I'm not the final say so. I'm not God. I cannot sit here and be like, this is the order, it shall be. No, it's a chance for anything. But I wouldn't leave Justin in Matt Eberflus's hands. I wouldn't move. And if you moved off of Justin, I wouldn't put the next quarterback in Matt Eberflus's hands. I've seen
Eberflus stays. This is all one scenario if Eberflus stays. Now, if you get the number 1 pick, what quarterback are you drafted? Or put it this way, what if Matt Eberflus doesn't stay? What if Matt Eberflus is let go at the end of the year? Now what do you do? Because now the chances are after yesterday, thank you. I mean, if you want to thank Mitch, thank you, because you're a buster and you lost to the
good looking out. Good looking out, Mitch.
So now New England, the Bears have they're basically
what I do. Listen, first of all, I'm team free Justin. All right. I think he's got enough. He's had a lot of Bear stink on him. I would hate for this team, this organization, to be the reason this blue chip prospect doesn't prosper and get the money that he should earn in the NFL, and hasn't shown how bright he can be with the system that's properly put around him, with a coordinator and a head coach that know what the hell they're doing. So that I would. That's why I definitely wouldn't leave him to Matt Eberflus. You know what I'm saying? I definitely wouldn't do that. But if I'm moving off, you know what I would do if I'm moving off of Justin? I told you I came in here talking about I'll draft Caleb Williams. Like, and it'd be be done. I would draft him because of what he can do on the field. Like, that's what I would. And I would have 5 more years. But wait, let me finish. I would have 5 years to sit there and spend as much money on both sides of the ball before I have to pay Caleb Williams. If this defense is trending in the right way, I can sit there. I can go out and get that other trench player that the Bears need, and this is a heavy receiver draft, so maybe you don't have to just take that wide receiver in the first round. But I'm gonna go get that other weapon on the other side of DJ Moore. I'm either gonna get a 3 technique in the first round or a tackle. Like that's probably which way I'm gonna end up going. And then I'm gonna look for a young guy that if he's a one-trick pony at first, to be the opposite of Montez Sweat in the second and third round. It's probably what I'm going to be looking for. Because with those fixes, you can definitely have a playoff team next year. But still, I worry about who's running it, because I've seen people run it that sometimes seem like they forget how to do it properly. But that's what I would probably do.
I confirm you that I don't think that Luke Getsy's learning too, but I just don't. He's reverted, and the thing that bothers me, he reverted back to it. Like if you screw up and you change and you continue to go with the change you made, I'm cool. Like if Luke Getsy had said, you know what, we're running Justin Moore. Now we got 3 running backs this year. So here's what we're gonna do, Justin. We're not gonna run you as much. We're gonna really hand the ball off to these guys, but we're gonna have it incorporate and make sure that people still know you can run and add you more of a passer, as opposed to you're not gonna run anymore. You're gonna pass. It's the same shit they did with Mitch. All right, that transition has to be smooth and has to be gradual. That was my first thing. And then after he called, then you had to do it again. And now he had a couple of good games, averaged 300 yards last 2 games before he got hurt. And then you want to go back. Like don't continue to go back to who you are. That's what bothers me, which is why I said you go get Greg Roman, you go get someone else. Go just again, someone that's going to be here. You give me someone that can coach this type of special player. Man, I'm happy as a pig in slop, because he's you need to coach him differently. He's got the skill set. There's nothing that any other quarterback can't do. It's mostly between here, athletically, the skill set. People say, what can he do that any other quarterback can't do? He's got a phenomenal deep ball. He can put mustard on the ball. If he's got that last throw to DJ Moore last week is fine. He can release it at different arm angles. He can throw on the run. He can throw back and up. He can run into his left. He can run into his right. He can drop it in the bucket. He can put a little humpback line drive over a linebacker. There's no throw he can't make. There's nothing that any other quarterback in the league can do physically that he can't do. So now he needs to be coached up properly. That's all I'm saying. Now, what if Matt Eberflus is gone? Who would you like to be running the show?
Come on. Let's first go to Ann Arbor. And while we're in Ann Arbor, if he says no, let's swing past Detroit and pick up Ben Johnson. It's a few guys that those are at the top of my list, if I'm being honest with you. I would probably
it'd be easier to get Greg Roman if you get Harbaugh.
Yeah. I wouldn't. I'm cool with that. I'm not anti Greg Roman. I'm anti not getting the best guy out of something else. But the thing, I want to get back to something you said. You said that Luke Getsy seems like he figures it out, then he forgets. Who consistently allows him to keep doing that?
The head coach. And how do we know that? And here's the thing: we don't know that Eberflus hasn't dealt with it yet. Offensive coordinators are many times are so egotistical. Look at one of the most famous ones is Mike Martz. Egotistical. It's my way or the highway. Maybe how do we know that he hasn't wanted to let him go early? And they're saying, for the Bears, we don't do that in the middle of the season, blah, 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 blah. We can do it at the end of the season. We don't know. But you're right. And Matt Eberflus, he has gone back to that. I'm saying Getsy has. And Matt Eberflus needed to say, you got to go back to what works. Now, the last, couple games, it looked pretty good. Can he do it the last 5? Even if he does continue to use Justin properly, I still wouldn't bring back Luke Getsy by any stretch if Eberflus stays. I think Getsy's gone and Eberflus might be gone. But Getsy has to go regardless. He's got to be the patsy. If you keep Eberflus, he's the patsy. If you get rid of them all, okay, cool. Well, he's gone anyway. Doesn't matter. But you're right. He's got to do that. But if the Bears are one of those organizations that don't fire coaches, do you want to fire an a defensive coordinator, running back coach, and an offensive coordinator, a defensive coordinator, running back coach, and an offensive coordinator in the same offseason? That would look.
That sounds like you should clear the staff out to me.
That's a big. You're
bringing in a new staff anyway, right?
For all intents and purposes, yes.
He's bringing in a whole new staff, 2 coordinators and a running back coach. Why are we keeping him here if he has to bring in a whole new staff?
one of the things you said that was about you restart the clock for 5 years. And to me, that's not important because you have his 4th year. Okay. You can pick up his 5th year and you can franchise tag him. Or you could say, hey, listen, here's what we want. We'll give you a 2-year deal. All right. We'll give you, after we're going to pick up your 5th, we'll give you a 2 or 3-year deal. Okay. And for X amount of dollars. Okay. If in that 2-year, 3-year deal we get you and you go ham, now we're talking $200 million. You have 3 to 5 years with him. If you trade this number 1 pick and you get a haul and you get probably one player like he did, Ryan Poles showed his ass like, you give me a player, homie. You give me a player along with his number 1 pick. So now you have all these contracts that are budgeted. Every single contract, all these guys for 4 years are budgeted. You know exactly how much money, because the NFL, much as you may not want to admit it, finances play a huge part in it. So now for the next 4 years,
play a huge part. They can't play a huge part with how you're talking. They can't, because if it plays,
yes, it
if
can,
you just said finance plays a huge part,
it does.
But yet do you know how quickly it is where you're going to be paying a quarterback $60 million a season? They're at 55 right now, so that hurts the team.
Which is why you get a much cheaper deal.
Why would he sign that? Why would he sign that? Why would he take less? Why?
Because he hasn't proven himself yet.
Okay, so you going to franchise? You Kirk Cousins him basically is the only option. If I'm Justin, I'm not signing that. I'm not signing it. Why would I let you do that to me? And it's your fault more than my fault that this is happening. Why?
Well, because why would you? I don't know.
I think that's partially why, and this is just my opinion. I think that's partially why he was open about what's been going on, because it's like, forget y'all to a degree. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what? I was doing well before y'all, and I'll be doing well after y'all. And it's facts. Like, if I'm Justin, I'm not doing that. If you don't want to sign me, franchise tag me or trade me. Period. That's it. But I'm not signing a below market deal for you, and I don't trust you. It sounds good for us looking on the outside in to help the Bears out. But I mean, is that what his agent would tell him to do? Is that what Pablo would tell him to do? Because he'd be doing his son a disservice.
No,
right. That would be. I'm gonna tell you, that would be the perfect point where I demand the trade. That would be the perfect point. It's like, oh, for real? Okay. And I may not get out. You may franchise tag me. But I'm gonna let it be known at that point, these two ships are going in separate directions because they don't want me. They don't want me, and I want to go someplace else. But it's like, even real quick, and I'm sorry for cutting you off. This is the problem with maintaining the status quo. There's too many questions from this coaching staff, and that leaks up to Ryan Poles too. There's too many questions that should somewhat have been answered by now. And that's why, like I was going to say this earlier, the season was supposed to go well enough that, yeah, okay, who cares what quarterback's coming out? Justin took another step. We've seen how the team is playing. Oh, we full go. Those questions were supposed to be settled this year, and they haven't been. So for me, I'm out. Like, I'm out. I'm not doing the old Chicago thing where I hold on to something. Nah, I'm like these kids today. I'm out. Deuces. You know what I'm saying? I'm not doing this. Like it's like we want to do the same. Like y'all really want to do the same shit? Like, and to think it's gonna be something different, and everybody on here is damn near older than me, and y'all want to keep doing it? No, fam. I'm out of this. I've seen enough. This man does not know how to do it. I'm ready for somebody else. And I damn sure wouldn't leave Justin to him again. I damn sure wouldn't do that. Like, please free Justin. All right, free him.
Yeah, me and you are on opposite sides of the fence because I'm keeping that sucker. If I got him for 3 years, I got a 4th year. If you want to give him a 5th year, cool. Then you know what? And that shows if you pay him, it says, hey, look, trust us one more year. Because now you got 2 more years left of him. You trust us one more year. So you're getting your 5th year option, which is going to increase your salary. So if you believe in what we're doing, all right. I mean, we don't have to give you a 5th year. We can give you, but we're going according to protocol. We can give you a 5th year. Okay, cool. I think you take him out. here's the biggest
know what
thing.
Justin
You're gonna
should do?
lose. You're gonna lose that.
Sorry,
You're gonna lose that locker room. You take him out, you're gonna lose that locker room. Because I'm gonna tell you, if you get a diva like Caleb Williams coming
You
in,
said you wanted a diva.
I didn't
Now,
say
let's look at it in the chat. Yes, you did. You said you wanted a quarterback to act like a quarterback. What are quarterbacks known as being? Divas. That's what you said. You want to be an
I said
ass.
I want him to be an
you
asshole.
want to be a jerk. Well,
Yes,
come on.
that's not a
How many
diva. No.
come on. How many times have we said good quarterbacks are divas too? We've said this in the past. Not saying you yourself, but we've used that terminology in the past. But the thing is this. I'll say this one point. Justin should take advantage of this. While the Bears, before they trade anything as far as that number 1 pick, he should come out and say, trade me. It's what he should force his hand and get the hell up out of here. All right. I'm saying this because I love Justin Fields, and I want Justin Fields to be great. And the things that I've seen here, they do not help him become great. But he should stop letting this Bears team mess with your future, young man. They've never figured the quarterback position out, and they will mess your future up and hinder you from being as great as you can become. Don't take it out of Ryan Poles' hands, because then you force Ryan Poles to draft a quarterback. And Ryan Poles can use the excuse he wanted out. But Justin, don't get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here. Right? They talking about keeping Matt Eberflus. Get out of here. All right. Scram. Like, all right. The door is open. Flee. All right. And I'm saying this as a Bears fan that loves him, but I'm saying it as a real Bears fan that knows how shit works around here. Right. We've had 1-2 years where we had a nice offense. Kramer, and then when Cutler had Jeffries and Marshall. Those are basically the 2 years we had good in all our lives since the Super Bowl. So get out of here, kid. You know what I'm saying? Like, go. This is like I'm on the shady side of town, kid. What you doing around here? Scram. Get out of here, kid. Get out of here, man.
Yeah. Well, we're on opposite sides, man. I think you keep him, and I think it's going to be, there's change.
You don't love him. I know you don't love him. You don't love him. You don't love him. You want him to stand up. You that friend to tell your friend to stay in an abusive relationship.
Nope.
Just stay.
What do we talk about?
What if he stops punching you and he just starts smacking you?
If you change and you see sustained changes and the changes is consistent, well, then that's a whole nother story. And the change is Luke Getsy, you're gone. Or the change is Matt Eberflus, you're gone. But someone who's going to come in, whether it's an offensive head coach who hires and brings in a coordinator, or you get a well-respected offensive coordinator, that's the change. That's the change. If that change and it's we just talked about it. If that is consistent, well, then you know what? Then you do care about him. Then you do care about him.
What if the next head coach wants to restart over and wants his own quarterback?
So that's not going to happen, because if the decision is made, well, let me tell you why. Let me tell you why.
So Jim Harbaugh wouldn't get whatever he wants.
Let me tell you why.
Go ahead. Okay, go ahead.
Let me tell you why. Because if the Bears front office is sold on Justin, then they're not going to hire a person who wants to have him traded. If they say, hey, listen, we're not sold on Justin, you know what? And we want this guy, he gets whatever he wants. Because front offices have been able to tell people what to do. If Jim Harbaugh wants it, but they don't want to move on from Justin, then Jim Harbaugh is not signing here, because that's not going to happen.
What if they want Jim Harbaugh more than they care about the quarterback position?
If they want
they're like, it's up to you. If they tell Jim Harbaugh it's up to you, that would be the reason. That would be the reason he would come here, so he can decide how he wants to run the team that he's leaving Ann Arbor for. So you're not going to have power over Jim Harbaugh. If Jim Harbaugh comes to the Bears, he's running the show. Ryan Poles kind of works for him more than the other way around. If Jim Harbaugh comes, he can cherry pick his situation. You're saying
if Harbaugh wants it, then that's what's going to have to happen. That's if this is the guy you believe can take this team, can lead this team to the Super Bowl, then you're going to have to say, hey, then all right, we will trade Justin. But if are you good coaching Justin? Because he's coached against him for 2 years.
He could be. I'm not saying he can't. Look, again, in that situation, my thing is what's best for Justin.
So we're arguing the same point. Because if you want Harbaugh, and he says, I want a new guy,
I will go any. I'm gonna tell you, if I will go with the way Harbaugh would go. Harbaugh knows more than me. I would go whichever way he decides. I know he can run a program, so I trust him in what he do. It wouldn't mean that I would be necessarily.
You and I are on the same page on that. You're on the same.
I'm open to. If you bring in someone that's ultra competent, this isn't just, for instance, like Ben Johnson. He's never been a head coach, right. So there's a difference in that. Harbaugh has run several college programs and an NFL program and made it to a Super Bowl. I would make him make that decision, and he's a former quarterback. It's all in your hands, sir. If you can do Jim Harbaugh, I'll let Jim Harbaugh do what he wants to do.
Yeah, and here's Barrelissimo. That's a good point. Like, you've coached against him, you've seen him, so I would love to see how it plays out. Sorry, I'd love to see how it plays out.
It still doesn't mean that's the style of quarterback that he desires. I mean, think about it. In Ann Arbor, and I know JJ McCarthy is mobile, but has he necessarily had that type of quarterback under center in Ann Arbor since he's returned?
No.
So it may not be.
He had one guy, but he wasn't very.
Yeah,
good.
one, but it may not be. It may be a Kyle Shanahan type of thing where I like a little blandness on my quarterback. So you never know. And I'm not saying that Jim Harbaugh, we saw he's had Colin Kaepernick. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm just pointing out we don't know is what I'm just trying to say. We don't know which direction he may want to go. He may want to rebuild it, not from the studs, but use it because they got players now. You're not going to trade those players away, but he may still want to clear some decks to where it's like, it could be the salary, but we don't know, and we'll find out.
Let me ask you this then. So my point was this: do you think, Justin, regardless of the head coach, okay, you bring in a new offensive coordinator, whether it was Harbaugh or someone else, another head coach or someone else, Eberflus and someone else, whatever, the new offensive coordinator. Do you think Justin can lead this team to a deep playoff run and be perennial Super Bowl contenders if you trade that number 1 pick and get not just a haul of picks, but players? So now you're going to have a plethora of first and second round picks deep on the offensive and defensive line or defensive side of the ball.
I don't know. I haven't consistently seen enough to say yes to that. I haven't. Like I haven't. That would totally absolve Justin of everything, and that would be wrong. But I love me some Justin Fields, but I could never say that I know consistently he can be a Super Bowl contender with what I've seen in the pros this far. I can't say that. I would be lying on here to say that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I would be going off of how I feel rather than what I've seen. I could feel a certain way, but I'm old enough to know that doesn't equate to reality.
Mm-hmm. Last question before we let you go, man. This has been a heated conversation, and I freaking love it.
It's been fun. It's been fun.
I love it.
It's been fun.
What's your score, baby? What's the final score on Sunday?
I'm gonna go Detroit 27, probably Bears 24 or 21. It's probably the way. I think this may be one of the last losses with some of these easy teams they play. I just think that Detroit's got to be miffed too. You know what I'm saying? They think they're at a certain level, but to be honest with you, the Bears could easily beat them. I'm not even saying the Bears can't win. I'm just going off of what I've seen so far. The Bears, it wouldn't surprise me if the Bears, if that score is flipped and it's the Bears. The only thing is Detroit may get like one of those late game TDs that don't matter. So it could maybe 28 right. to, something like that. But the Bears can win this game. I mean, I forget what the last schedule is. There's no games that are impossible for the Bears to win.
Cleveland, home Arizona, home Falcons, at Green Bay.
I'm worried about that Cleveland defense, but still they can be had.
Yeah.
Green Bay can be a problem. You would hope that the Bears would take this as a revenge game after starting so bad to try to prove something and not Jordan Love down a peg. But yeah, the Bears can win. It's they should have been winning. But anyway. Mm-hmm.
So are you saying that there's a possibility? So you're saying there's a chance that the Bears could go 5-0?
No, there's no chance. It's not a chance in hell.
Okay.
It's not a chance unless you want to put some bread on it, because I'll definitely bet you some money on that.
No, I'll bet you. I'll take you out to lunch. Winner pays for lunch. We'll go to Output. We'll go to somewhere else. We'll go with lunch.
All right. Winner pays for lunch.
Here's the thing. I don't think they're going 5-0. I think they might go 4-1, worst 3-2. But I see a scenario where they can go 5-0. Like every game that I look at, I'm like, okay, you can beat the Lions, you can beat Cleveland. It's not like they're going up against the Chiefs. They're going up against the Eagles.
It's possible. Yeah. But it won't happen. It's definitely possible.
Right,
but it won't.
Bet.
It won't.
Bet. Okay.
Bet.
All right.
Bet.
Cool.
And I choose the place we go. You're not choosing the place.
Hey, we ain't going to Chicago Cup, mama.
No, I'm not saying. No, we're not doing that. I would never do you like that.
Hey, Ken, great stuff, buddy. I appreciate it, man. Let everyone know where they can find you online.
Check me out. Follow me at That's Davis. Make sure you check out the Under Center podcast. We get back to cranking at some That Davis shows. Everybody, I appreciate it. Agree or disagree. I hope you all have a great weekend and be safe, Shawn. You know I love you, and I love seeing you taking care of your mother, and I love seeing her do CrossFit on social media. So you, my man, have a great weekend.
Likewise, I got to go pick her up now. She's at class right now.
I love it. I love it.
Excellent, man. Later. Guys, that was Kenneth Davis. We got to bounce. Have a great weekend. I will be going live. Follow me. I'll be going live this week from Soldier Field from the stadium. So make sure you check me out. Guys, have a phenomenal weekend. I'm your boy, the SuperBack. I am out.